What does American ingenuity mean to you? When you think of individuals who embody our nation's innovative spirit, who comes to mind? Around the turn of the 20th century, a lawyer and assistant patent examiner challenged the country's expectations of who could create and innovate. To disprove the pervasive racist notion that African Americans could not make significant contributions to society, Henry E. Baker compiled the first list of African American patent holders. Baker's list was a revolutionary document. Though there had been no official record of the races of patent holders, Baker was persistent in his work, adding inventors to the list as his research uncovered them. As we look back on Baker's list today, it remains a powerful testament to the drive for progress. The list's national significance was built on the individual stories it contains. Stories like that of Richard Franklin America. One of the youngest inventors to be included on Baker's list, America's name appears 3 times. America had obtained 1 design patent and 2 utility patents for the same reason many Americans strive to attain intellectual property, to realize the promise of achieving upward social mobility and making a better life for his family. His son, Richard America Jr., is the only known living child of an inventor who appears on Baker's list.
Well, my parents were Richard F. America Sr. and Arlene Ethel Good America, and they were great people. My dad was born in Wilmington, Delaware, and his family moved to Philadelphia in 1900. He was 4 years old. I think there was an explosion of invention in the country. I mean, people were probably inspired by, hey, I can think up some gadget, and maybe I'll make some money.
As Henry Baker worked to find Black inventors and their patents, he wrote to Richard America in December of 1921 to ask him about the patents he held. In his response to Baker, America explained that at 18 years old, he applied for his first patent for a street and station indicator.
It was mechanical, it wasn't electrical. It was on a ratchet system. It would tell the passengers what the next station is. That's pretty clever. The other one was a simple flag holder. Just a device, you put the flagpole in. And in South Philadelphia, with those row houses, people like to put flags out on holidays. I guess that was the idea. They must have tied them or struggled to get them in place, and this would solve that problem. And the third thing was a tire tread. Automobiles, 1915, 16, many of them were still pretty unsafe. So he invented a tread, but yeah, those were the 3.
With each of his patented inventions, America demonstrated that he was keenly aware of societal trends and needs. From developing his station indicator as public transit systems were becoming more robust, to creating his tire tread design when the automobile was becoming mainstream, America was focused on meeting the public's needs as they emerged.
He retained a lawyer. And I've got some correspondence about that. So he took that step. He had some representation. And he's still a young guy. He was 20 or so. He tried to get, I think it was Firestone. And there was some back and forth with letters. They didn't license his tread idea, or I'd be in a mansion today, I guess. He must have had some belief based on something that it was possible.
Though America had managed to earn patents early in his life, he did not see his inventions go into production. While patents have the potential to serve as keys to attaining financial security and building a brighter future, social barriers resulting from racism, sexism, and classism have kept many Americans from realizing the full potential of acquiring intellectual property. Despite the many challenges he faced, including widespread violence against African Americans, radical oppression, and segregation, America's persistent, innovative spirit would not be deterred. Having lived most of his life in Philadelphia, America was drafted to fight in World War I in 1917 at the age of 21. He left for Europe from Fort Dix in 1918 and was stationed in France for a year. Following his military service, America created a lasting legacy by continuing to provide for his family, building a 42-year career as a federal employee of the U.S. Post Office, and contributing to labor movements fighting to improve working conditions during the Great Depression.
He was pretty feisty in a lot of ways. I mean, later on, he was writing to senators and cabinet members with suggestions and recommendations of things they should do. He was not a shy guy. He would speak up. He was a bit of a radical, like a lot of troops who came back from World War I. He came back politicized. And it happened to be at the time when there was a lot in the air.
By chronicling the work of Black inventors, Baker had made a vital contribution to the civil rights movement. In 1894, an early version of Baker's List was entered into the congressional record by U.S. Representative George Washington Murray of South Carolina. Born into slavery, Murray became not only a member of Congress, but also an inventor who held 9 patents. As leaders like W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington widely publicized Baker's List, it became an influential part of the ongoing struggle for racial equity and justice in America. By the time of Baker's death in 1928, the list included more than 400 entries, and each one was ammunition in the fight against racism. Like every inventor who appeared on Baker's List, America poured his ingenuity, determination, and hope into gaining intellectual property, though the promise of patents has often gone unfulfilled for some inventors. Baker and all the inventors who appeared on his list made a difference. The difference they made can be felt in the next generation of creators and innovators, the ones who could come to mind the next time you're asked, "What does American ingenuity mean to you?"